Climate change is projected to have serious environmental, economic and social impacts on Ghana, particularly on rural farmers whose livelihoods depend largely on rainfall. The extent of these impacts depends largely on awareness and the level of adaptation in response to climate change. Effective adaptation to climate change and variability is contingent on the perceptions of farmers and the ability of policymakers to merge these with scientific knowledge systems. Ghana, since 2010, has undertaken several initiatives towards the development of comprehensive strategies as part of processes leading to enhancing national adaptation to climate change. Perhaps one of the most important decisions in this regard has been the establishment of the Ghana Climate Change, Agriculture and Food Security Platform. The impact of climate change is mostly felt by the rural farmer who depends on rainfall, so the platforms were extended to the rural communities, especially the high-risk areas. Among the beneficiary communities in the Upper West region are the platforms in Lora, hosted by the Traditional Authority, Nandom, hosted by an NGO called Nandredip. Drapap is hosted by the Department of Agriculture. Further south is the Nadoli Kalio platform, hosted by the Planning Unit of the District Assembly. These platforms have further benefited with the establishment of climate-smart villages. A climate-smart village is a site where farmers work with researchers and other local partners to test a portfolio of climate-smart technologies and practices. Projects are implemented in an integrated manner in order to realize the triple benefits of climate-smart agriculture, adaptation, mitigation and productivity. Since the establishment of the platforms, the national platforms has been sending teams to these areas to see how the farmers are coping with the climate change. One such team visited Lora. The paramount chief of Lora traditional area, now Paul Wilikabu III, has adopted the Lora platform as his own baby and has been nurturing and growing it. The first point of call by the team was a courtesy on the traditional ruler of the area. Na Kabo was delighted to see the climate change experts.
Here this morning in connection with the Farmers Forum. So we want to really quickly find out what is the state of the rainfall and temperature in relation to climate change in the district now, as against crop productivity in the district.
This forum will take opportunity of the farmers gathering to also update them about CCAFS, our operations. So essentially that's it. To share information, share ideas with our farmers, and then get them sensitized. We all know that the climate has changed, everybody knows, and what we don't know is how we should be able to introduce methods and measures to adapt to the changing pattern of our climate. So essentially that's the purpose of the forum.
Indeed, the traditional ruler has placed farmers at the center stage of the annual Kobene Festival of the chiefs and people of the Lora traditional area. After all, Kobene is all about harvesting. To make the farmers' presence felt during the festival, a day has been set aside for Farmers Forum to discuss climate change and related topics. Now, Paul Wilikabu opened the forum with a short speech thanking the Accra platform for opening a platform in Laura and also establishing a climate-smart village in the area. He expressed his delight for the gradual change in the fortunes of his people.
We are all aware of climate change. The rainfall pattern has changed, with the rains no longer falling like before. Let us come together under a common thought to adapt practices that enhances our efforts.
The municipal engineer said food security has improved in the area, adding that all districts now have agriculture officers.
The municipality does not work alone. We partner other collaborative agents. With Animal Research Institute, we have a ration of 1 acre with Kajanus in Dazuri. This is to facilitate the dry season issues we have with farmer feeding the animals. So that if farmers can adapt this technology, we can always crop animal feed during the rainy season. They will use it to give to the animals in the dry season.
But this is the only place for us to learn what we need to do to improve on the food that we have on our tables daily. I'm sure anybody who moves out in the municipality and moves around, you can see that our crops are doing very well.
For the past 4 or 5 years, when farmers were made part of the Kobene Festival, food exhibition has also become part of the festival. Farmers who have adapted what the extension officers has been telling them were able to diversify their crops and substantially improve yields. These farmers were proud to bring some of their produce for the exhibition. Rashid Ibrahim, the Upper West Regional Livestock Director, obliged to tell us the impact of climate change on livestock.
Livestock rearing cannot be practiced without sound environment. Mr. Chairman, livestock production is an important feature of Ghana's agriculture and accounts for 14% of the agricultural GDP.
Indeed, the forum at the Kobene Festival provides the farmers the opportunity to meet other farmers and learn from each other, and also listen to experts of climate change who happens to be at the forum. Let's take a further look at what happens at the forum. First, Ibrahim Isahaku, the municipal engineer.
The rains have been very fair to us, and we have experienced a very good number, which I think should be able to give us good yields this particular year. We have maize and the other major crops that we think we can have enough to eat throughout the year, if and only the issue of aggregated activities will be reduced.
Community members spoke openly and authoritatively about their own experiences with CCAFS-led agricultural activities.
The effect of climate change is affecting us negatively. We need more assistance.
It is true that climate change is here. Increasingly, farmers are resorting to the use of fertilizer. The platform provided me with improved seeds from CCAFS and I planted. This year, I had a good harvest unlike the previous years. We plead to get more of such improved seed varieties.
Before the intervention, I was getting almost next to nothing, about 3 bags per acre. But now with the support and intervention, I harvest over 10 bags per acre.
Before CCAFS intervention, they were mainly planting sorghum using mouths. But with the intervention, they are now cultivating maize and soya bean using tied ridges and now planting in rows. Since the CCAFS project started, crop yields have substantially increased, thus improving food security. Eric Kalibu, the municipal coordinator of the LoRa platform, told us what the LoRa platform has been able to achieve.
Farmers have actually benefited through the planting of trees. Others have benefited from improved seed for planting. A total of 50 communities have actually benefited.
March to April, May thereabout, there is a high shortage of feed, particularly the large ruminants. We are encouraging farmers to sink boreholes and water these animals. And also they should try to plant trees around the water bodies, go into fodder bank establishment, trying to educate them on how to conserve these grasses, turn them into silage and hay for the animals to be feeding on.
We have created land and water management initiatives, such as the growing of intercropping maize with other leguminous crops, so that we can have enough environmental cover that encourages microbial activities that enrich the soil fertility of the municipality.
Trekking around the villages, it is still green even at this time of the year. This is an indication that people have religiously taken what they have learned into practice. North of LoRa is Nandom, which has also taken good care of its platform. Honorable Augustine Liebo is the secretary of that platform. What is happening at Nandom?
The essence of introducing CCAFS was to support the climate change activities that were being carried out by NADRIGA in the Nandom district. Ever since the platform was started, we tried educating people to know the causes of climate change. We also tried to let them understand the negative impact that they are facing due to the change of the climate.
The theme also visited Jirapa, south of LoRa, with its platform, and Smart Village at Dogo. The platform here is also doing well. An NGO representative on the Jirapa platform explains the composition and working of the platform.
The Jirapa CCAFS platform is a multi-sectoral platform, and it's not actually a closed platform. As and when we see that there's a necessity for us to bring in someone, we do that. Talking about success stories, we have been able to plant 1,443 seedlings. We have also been able to hold 4 radio discussions. Going into the future, we wish that if we could get funding to go into schools, form clubs, so that when the children are active, they go home, they are able to give the information to their parents.
The focal person of the Dogo Smart Village is Peter Malukia.
8 years now, Dogo community was actually selected as a climate smart village. When you look at the cropping history of Dogo, as at that time, they were mainly on the local and then the Asian style of farming. Through CCAFS interventions, we were doing what we call crop rotation, tierages, stone bonding, combined mineral and fertilizer. We also introduced to them tree planting. We actually had a nursery where they can nurse seedlings yearly, seasonal, and then plant, taking them through grafting process, where they can graft themselves and then transplant. We have tested them with a lot of technologies, climate smart interventions, where we don't force it on them, we allow them to choose their choice of technology they want.
Perhaps the greatest achievement and legacy of the platforms in the LoRa, Jirapa, Nandom enclave is the introduction of the fight against climate change to schools in the area, that is, tree planting. Dakora Samuel is the assistant headmaster of the local authority, JHS.
Some years back, our school was supported with some number of trees by the DRAPA platform. We had 240 trees. In fact, the activity has supported our school, and we have taken the courage to also take good care of the trees. And we encourage that our parents at home should also take this activity we have learned to also plant trees that will help our environment.
My name is Angla Solomilisen. This is my tree, and then here is the other one.
My name is Kantambu Jusi. This is my tree, and this is the other one. I planted it in 2017.
I am very happy for the trees because it stops the wind from destroying our building.
The DRAPA staff platform brought some trees to our school. We planted them, and I'm very happy to see the flowers growing in our school because they gave us fresh air.
The trees help purify the air, which is good for our life.
I want the one student, one tree project to continue. I want the one student, one tree project to continue.
This is what we have done, and we hope that the one student, one tree project should continue, that we will expand to more schools in DRAPA.
Some of these villages, and for that matter, the farms are lying on slopes which easily lend themselves to erosion. Stones have therefore been used to line up the slopes to check erosion.
To inquire CCAFS for
Last year, I planted maize on this land and had a bumper harvest. This year, I cultivated groundnuts. The land here is slopey and stony. We use the stones to check erosion and to maintain the fertility of the soil. With the interventions from CCAFS, we are now doing well. They also, as part of the interventions, advised us to stop bush burning, which was destroying the environment.
Before the platform's interventions, we used to farm anyhow and yields were very low, an acre to a maximum of 3 bags. But with the new methods taught us, we now make up to 15 bags per acre. This means more resources for improved livelihoods.
The farmers, agriculture officers, and the platforms have so far been doing their best, and results are good considering current crop yields. But what is the way forward?
Introducing other additional activities like ensuring that we have radio programs weekly will also help sensitize the public the more. We also believe strongly that expanding these nurseries into other communities will also help the community people to establish woodlots that they will no longer be dependent on the natural vegetation.
In the Thai district, in the Bono region, farmers are fighting the climate change with different strategies. Among others, they have adopted zero tillage and they are also using drought-tolerant maize variety.
When we spray, we wait for a week before planting. Now, we plant in rows unlike before. Since we plant in debris, they serve as fertilizer when they decompose, thereby improving crop yields. Planting in rows is much better than planting anyhow. I have seen a lot of positive changes in my farm since I started using the new methods. This has increased my income and improved my livelihood.
The climate change was affecting our farmers, especially when the dry season comes. There was a lot of bush burning around, and because of that, the raining pattern was becoming bad. But with this intervention from the CSA platform, it has improved a lot of things for the farmers. Some farmers even recommend that if it is spread out to other districts, it will help the farmers there. And I also recommend strongly that with this intervention where the farmers are benefiting so much and are enjoying the fruits, it can be scaled up.
An important way of measuring the performance of the farmers is to find out whether yield per acre is going up or coming down. Surveyors are therefore invited to survey each new farm for them to know the number of bags they would harvest from their fields. Majority of farmers who have adapted climate-smart technologies and practices are benefiting immensely. They are getting better crop yields. Those who were not into maize cropping are thanking the experts for introducing them to maize farming. Other crops are now yielding better.